You're now listening to the Lead the Way podcast. Adonis, thank you for joining us. This is the Lead the Way podcast. We definitely appreciate you coming out. So I just want to introduce everybody. Right here, we have Adonis, the Promise Wilkins, right, from Newark.
Newark, Delaware, but I was born in Philadelphia, representing the whole area, so
Okay.
it don't matter.
Awesome. We love that. So if I can just say a little bit about your background, it looks like as far as debuting, you debuted November 4th,
Yes,
2023.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
It's been a few years I've been in the game now, so.
Okay. So you've been in,
Yeah.
it was about 3 years. So.
Yeah, in the pro game anyway. Yeah.
Okay, the pro. Okay. And it looks like you have a really impressive record because I saw that you have you're 8-0 right now.
Yes, sir.
And out of those 8 wins, you've had 7 knockouts.
7 knockouts, but I've knocked out all of my opponents because the dude that did survive it, I fought him again, knocked him out. So,
So essentially,
it's honestly 8-0.
8-0. Okay, all right, that's
8-0,
awesome.
8 KOs.
That's amazing. And you're welterweight at
Yes,
this
sir.
point in time. Okay,
147.
147. Okay, all right. So, as far as boxing, can you tell me a little bit about how'd you get started?
It came up in my family, so I grew up in a big household with boxing. My big brother was one of Philly's top amateurs. He fought a lot of the top guys in Philly. Tyreek Thomas, he was a big name, training out of Schuler's when I was a kid. So, and then my dad, he was training partners with Kevin Howard, which is the first dude to ever drop Sugar Ray Leonard. That's like an uncle to me. So I grew up in boxing. It was part of my life. It's always been part of my life. My dad didn't want me to do it, but my mom did. So
okay. So you have an affinity for it. So your family.
Yeah,
what's
for
your
sure.
brother's name?
Tyreek.
Tyreek. Okay, Tyreek Wilkins. Okay, awesome. That's amazing. Really seeing what you've been doing, and so I know you've been doing it as far as your family. When did you start? When's the first time I guess you started boxing? You started boxing. Do you remember the age?
Oh, man, my dad had me in the gym as a toddler, dog. But when I first started training, was around 5. Just going to the gym with him every day. He was this was back when Joe Frazier's was still around. So I would go with him to the legendary Joe Frazier gym. And I just watch him work, watch my brother train. I go to a lot of my brother's fights. I started my training around 5. I didn't have my first fight until I want to say 11, 12, under my uncle Greg Pritchett. And so yeah, because he became my head trainer because my dad couldn't do it. So he took over my head trainer, and we just worked from there. And ever since then, it's been history.
You've been grinding.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's amazing. So with you saying that makes me question. As far as the boxing and it being a family legacy, why did your dad not want you to box?
Because he didn't like the game of it, man. My Uncle Kevin Howard fought Sugar Ray Leonard, and he seen the negative side of the pros. And him seeing the negative side, he didn't want me to fall into the trap of getting bad management, bad contracts. Because in boxing, it can mess your life up. You can make a lot of money in this sport. You can rise up really fast. You can get popular too fast, and the money can get to your head. And he didn't want me to go through the same traps that went through his friends and his family. So
That makes a lot of sense. I totally understand. So let me ask you this: with your mom being on board, how was that different? What was it that she really wanted you to be able to do?
Well, she knew my talent. I was always fighting. So I come from a family of 9 brothers. All of them boxed, man. All of them boxed. Like, wasn't no not fighting in my family. I had to really get into it. So watching them fight, watching them grow up, I wanted to do this. This was meant for me, and I couldn't just say no. And my dad didn't want me to do it because, mind you, my big brother at the time, Tyreek, didn't go pro. He didn't make it to the pros because he got caught up in street life and stuff like that. So he didn't want me to do it because he didn't think I was going to make it far. But my mom believed in me, so she said, "Yo, you keep good grades in school, I'll let you do it." So I brought home straight A's, and I was able to box.
You had a real passion for it. That's what
course,
it sounds like.
Absolutely.
So then that leads me to another question. So knowing that your call sign, if you will, is the Promise. What does that mean?
Well, my mom passed when I was around 14, 15. So she always thought I could be a world champion. She always believed me to be a world champion. She said I had the talent, I had the ability. So that's the reason why it's the promise. I promised her before she died that I would be a world champion. So every time I go in that ring, the promise comes with me.
I'm sorry to hear about your mom, but I'm very moved by the fact that you have a purpose. That it sounds like you're focused, and that's maybe why you were so deadly in the ring.
Yes, sir.
I've seen some of the highlights, and I will say that pound for pound, watching you are brutal in the ring.
Thank you. I'm trying, man. I got a lot of people that's on my list that I'm going after, and they ain't got a lot of time to stay on top. So,
So do you have any upcoming fights?
Hopefully soon I'll be fighting again in June. Right now I'm part of the TBL circuit, the Team Boxing League, fighting for the reigning champs, NYC Attitude. Shout out New York. And we doing our thing, man. Got a lot of good guys on the squad. Got a lot of good teammates with me. Shout out my teammates. Shout out my coaches. We doing that for September, but whatever I get in between, I'm going to take a fight. I don't duck no action. I want smoke with whoever wants smoke with me.
Okay, absolutely. Well, so how often, what's your grind look like? How often are you working out?
7 days a week. I don't miss a day of training. I don't miss it. I was training just before I came here. I was at the track field. I was at the gym this morning. I don't miss days. I believe in training 7 days a week. I believe in running 7 days a week. Because if I take a break, if I sleep, I take time off, I feel like my competition is getting the edge on me. Like I just fought last night, and I train again today because I don't want to lose. I don't like losing because to me, when I lose, I feel like a failure. I don't like feeling like a failure.
Sounds like you work as hard as possible.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you're familiar with Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but you're like Goku, right?
Of course,
train
Goku,
all the time.
He trains all the time.
Except he loses. You don't do that.
Yeah, not at all. I can't afford to lose. Can't.
Okay, awesome. So I have some more questions. Let me. I had some questions written down. So, how do you think your environment shaped, the boxing outside of your family history and legacy? I know you said you originally from Philadelphia, and then and your residence now is in Newark, and you represent both. What do you think, as far as like growing up, what was that like? You said you fought a lot, so can you expand?
I mean, I got in a lot of street fights. I mean, I couldn't keep it out. I grew up with a lot of anger, who knows? I was just a kid, but I had to find an outlet for it. I needed something to do, but I saw my brothers were fighting, and that looked like a better thing than just punching on people in the street. So I said I'd rather do that and make some money with it than punch on the street and end up in jail for it. So, and like I said, I grew up in bad neighborhoods. I seen a lot of drugs, crime, and I seen my brothers fall into that trap, and I didn't want to do it. So it was boxing, find a better way, or play a different sport. And I ain't no good football player. I ain't no good basketball player, but I can do one thing for sure, and that's fight. So
okay. You go with your hands, right?
Exactly.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, and that means a lot. So piggybacking off of that, what does it mean for what you're doing for the next generation? Like, what do you think that can do for young people and those that are looking up to you?
I want to give them a chance to see that, it's more than just being out here and doing nothing with my life. Like, you can always find your way around, no matter what happens to you. So it's a lot of young kids that I take time with to train in the gym, and I shout out to them. Shout out to the top number one prospects in the country, Levi Brown and Honey Hands, Mark Jackson Jr. Both of them just came home. I worked with them both personally. They both just won national championships and became number one in the nation. So shout out to them.
Well, congratulations to them, and congratulations to you for being that role model. It sounds like for somebody positive in their lives to help them, transcend all that negative violence that can be out there and just taking the wrong path.
For sure, man. That's what it's about at the end of the day. If you can help somebody else do better in life, do it.
I like that. I agree with that. I mean, me personally, I think that our jobs are always to help things better, to be better. So anytime we have an opportunity to give something back, it helps us move forward too, I think.
Yeah, most definitely.
So here's a good question. What were some of the challenges you faced early on when you started boxing, and how did you push through them?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. When I first started boxing, I was lazy, dog. You feel me? I was a kid though. I can't say that. I wanted to go out. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to enjoy being a kid. I wanted to go out with my friends. I wanted to hang out. I wanted to be out all night. I wanted to do that stuff. But then I also had to realize it, like with this life, with being a fighter or just being a pro athlete in general, you gotta really want this. You can't be halfway in, halfway out. It ain't no going to parties. It ain't no turning up. It ain't no just going out all night being with your friends. You gotta make sacrifices. And I made the sacrifices to be on top. If it meant going to the gym every day and not being with them, I understood it. And if they was my friends, they would understand it too. I paid a lot to be part of this life, and I'm not gonna sacrifice it now.
It's powerful. I mean, it sounds like discipline. That's something I think a lot of people can learn from because it seems like people aren't disciplined, the same way anymore. I'm sure
Yeah,
you probably see that.
yeah, for sure. I wouldn't really call it discipline. I call it more. I call it a drive,
Mm,
because when you have discipline and motivation, it's just that comes. It's fleeting.
mm,
Motivation doesn't last long. When you have drive, it's there. You're not gonna stop until you get there.
okay, okay. So I'm glad you said that. So that makes me think. So drive. So I know you said you want to be a world champion. Is that when you stop, or what do you do once you achieve that?
Man, world champion is such a small, minuscule part of boxing. There's so many world champions. What I want to do is I want to be undisputed. I
Mm.
want people to know that there's only one champion in this division, and there's only one guy that can be at the top. And when you think pound for pound, I want you to think of Adonis Wilkins.
Already it's in my head. Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you've
Yes,
already put it
sir.
there. You've already put it there. I mean, like, it's been a honor and a pleasure to talk to you right now. I have maybe a couple more questions I want to ask, and
Take
I
your
mean,
time. I'm here.
okay, well, I appreciate it. So with that, let's say, okay, here's a good one, and I'm sure you probably have many, but what's one lesson that boxing has taught you that you've been able to carry outside of the ring? Just one. I know you probably have a ton of them, but what's the biggest one, I guess?
Even though it may feel like you down and out and you at the worst, I'm talking about the worst. You could be, and this means with life or anything, but I take it in fights as well. But it don't matter how far down you are. It don't matter how far back you are, how bad life gets. You have to keep fighting because all it takes is one punch. All it takes is that one opportunity. Anything in life, like anything could happen. You could win at any time. At any time, you could win, and that's especially true with boxing, with life. All it takes is one opportunity. That one dude can hit the lottery one day, make that $1 million. He's been struggling his whole life. For me, I catch you with one punch. I know I could still win this fight. I don't care if I done lost every round. All I need to do is land. So, and that's what life. If all I need to do is land, I'm gonna win.
That's a great message. I think a lot of people should take that to heart because that is the kind of thing that can help you get through struggles, and, and,
For
and
sure.
overcome those obstacles if you can think like that. The mindset of Adonis, that
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's maybe you should look at trying to copyright that, right? The mindset of Adonis. That's what you need to pass
Yeah,
on.
maybe one day. Right now, I gotta focus on getting these wins.
Focusing,
Yes,
focusing,
sir.
focusing. Well, um, we're gonna wrap up because you actually answered pretty much every question. But I guess the one thing I really would like to know is what I guess are your goals moving forward. Once you've um, achieved becoming undisputed, like what are there any other goals, any other avenues that you're looking to get? I know you're focused now, and that's
Yeah.
that's so. I mean, like you just said, but I mean, have you thought about anything else? Have you thought about venturing into any other once you've achieved the things that you want to achieve?
Like I said, I want to be number one in boxing first. So I want to take over my division, undisputed. But there's a lot of people in boxing that also in lower divisions, higher divisions. I want to go up. I want to go down. I want to fight the guys that are the best. I want to put on fights that people consider classics, like Marvin Hagler, Hearns won. I want people to think of that when they think of me. I want to have a legacy that lasts long after I'm gone.
A
And
legacy.
yeah, yeah. So, but once I'm done boxing altogether, uh, that's when I'm going to take that time. I don't really care about the fame. I don't care about the money or all that. Boxing is the most important thing to me. That's when I'm going to put more effort into my son and my nephews
Okay.
because they box as well, and I want them to be able to know that okay, cool. my dad did it, so he's focusing his time on me. Now it's my turn.
I think that's powerful because I think that solidifies your legacy. And I like what you said because I thought that, you know, the boxing was going to be the focus, and it is. But I like how you said you're ready to go all up and down the board. You don't just want to be the top person as a welterweight. You want to move up and down. You want to get everybody anywhere you can go.
Exactly. I want to smoke with the world. Man. Like I want to fight the world. So that's the best way to say it.
Okay.
Like you said with Goku. Goku never backed down from that challenge. So, and I'm the exact same way. I won't back down from that challenge. Bigger, smaller. I want to smoke with the world. So
I like that. I want to smoke with the world. We gotta make a T-shirt. I want to smoke with the world. You know what I mean? We gotta have that's. I mean, well, listen. I appreciate you coming out. We appreciate you coming out, especially being our first guest. It's a huge deal.
Of course, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it for real. And definitely, I'm hyped to be on the Lead the Way podcast, man. For real, and I thank y'all.
Well, we're definitely gonna be following you, and we look forward to doing stuff. But before we wrap up, I want to shake your hands and say thank you.
Thank you.
And now I want to introduce the man.
My guy, what's up, baby?
Thank you for coming, bro.
Of course.
I just wanted to get on here and say, first episode of the Lead the Way podcast. Just want to say thank you for coming, bro. This is the first episode of Lead the Way podcast. You're our first guest. Just know we with you all the way, bro.
100%.
Keep doing what you've been doing. And thank you. Everybody clap it up.
Make sure y'all cop y'all Reason by Drive merch, man. This thing stay clean.
Come get it. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro.
Lead the way.